Hello everybody. Sorry, I was a little late today. I hope everybody got my message. Missed me, missed you. I was playing in town and seeing my special boy in my life. So that's my son. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope everybody's sailing sweetly through these beautiful energies. Let's blow a bubble or two, sending lots of love to lots of people, sending love to the planet. Yeah, we've been doing some mammoth sessions. Heidi, my darling, how are you? Thank you. Sorry I was late. I hope you got my message. I was just blowing some bubbles for bubbles. Shame, you need a little bit of TLC. So we're all like trying to coast. How are you doing, Hemi? The energy's okay. You keeping the boat steady, my love. Just flying gently. I've been extraordinarily tired on and off, and I keep like, look, just get up, just don't go down, just get up. It's okay in between stuff. So we've just been playing with Ganesha and taking a few walks and trying to do some work on the computer. And I'm just thinking how amazing this life actually is. And I'm so proud of myself. I feel like tune into Mother Earth. Don't tune into Mother Earth. Tune into Mother Earth. So, yeah, all this flying around is great, but sometimes we just want also some practical stuff that we need to work with on our beautiful planet. You're doing garbage. Thanks. New York City garbage. Okay. Day is garbage day. We have this very strict roster. We have many garbage days here. We have garbage day, and we have paper day, and we have compost day, and we have yellow bag day. And then the other amazing thing they do here is but you have to book it. You put your furniture or whatever rubbish you have in your cellar. Furniture, there's no resale value on stuff here, next to nothing. So they put it out on the street, and then this truck comes around and eats it up. So if you're smart, I was just looking the other day, there's somebody who put out a whole blender, a whole lounge suite and carpets and a blender and paintings and beautiful Siemens vacuum cleaner, like virtually brand new. And they were still so kind. They even covered it all up with a tarpaulin so it didn't get too rainy. So if you're clever enough here in Germany, you can actually pick up almost all your furniture. Oh, and they had bookshelves, all sorts of things for nothing, literally for nothing. You just got to take it home. So yeah, people, there's no resale value here. And even if you do on eBay, a lot of the stuff is just come and pick it up. Yeah. Okay, Mondays and Thursdays, and you like sorting stuff out. Yeah. Camera Bunny, what have you got? I hope you haven't been in my shopping. Yeah, no, I went to go shopping with my boy. So I want to just clear our beautiful holy temples. This is our temple. This is it. This is your vehicle for ascension or change or whatever. It is your temple, and it is really just start preparing it slowly. Listen to yourself. Open up your third eye. Open up your crown chakra. Open up the mouth of God at the back. Mine's been so itchy just at the bottom, but it's okay. It was like that a little while ago. So listen to your body as well. Keep our spine nice and straight. Breathing up and down like a beautiful golden empty tube. And awakening our beautiful heart. And thank you to Ganesha for awakening our beautiful base chakra. Keeping it going. Sending a little extra energy to PG there. Sometimes the boys don't listen. We all do this. We all do it our fingers. So let us light some spiritual guide. What do you use? If you dare tell me. I've got a light. We didn't really get sage in South Africa. We got, there was some other African stuff which was really nice. I don't know what it was called. But they're quite secretive about their stuff. I'm just going to get a lighter. I'm going on the rain. I've got a tree. Oh no, you can't do this. Which is a very good boy. As a back. Yeah, if you miss your slot, then it's like your time slot. People have got other things on the go. But thank you for being here. So lighting the temple and the holy smoke and keeping our portals open, putting a big figure of 8 around us and keeping the temple sacred, awakening the still point in the heart, putting a smoke screen and a seal of protection around us. It's really nice to smoke ourselves sometimes under our arms, around our body, the soles of our feet. Allow the smoke just to infiltrate into our homes and to be aware of what we are putting into our bodies on a spiritual level, a physical level, an emotional level. Hey, whatever level you want, just like life, make some decent choices in your life. Life is governed by the choices we make. Grace, Grace, Grace. Oh, Grace, thank you. I love you too so much. We were just doing it. I was a bit late today. I was doing some shopping with my son in town. So he was a bit late. And that's okay. It was okay. I had this, when was it? It was a couple of days ago. And I had this beautiful, it was such a delicate dream. It was so faint. I'm just looking at here. It was streamer. I drew, it was this little chariot. Dun, 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 dun. This was full of, so I suppose it was us. Much love to us all. Oh, are we creating? I'm trying to create slowly. Slowly I'm creating. But I found some things. It was it that long ago? No, it was on the 31st. There we go, I've written it. I'm trying to date things, but I forget. And then there was this other funny creature that I drew with the rainbow bridge. But it was this little chariot with little horses. But it was so faint. It wasn't very bright. I remember that being quite clear. And it was like dancing among the stars. That was on the 31st. And I did write something down for this one. Oh, I woke up so many times last night, and it told us that we should all work with our dreams if we could remember them. Oh, what's the audio? Oh, thanks, Grace. Is that better? Please let me know. And that's okay. Whoops. Nope, that's the end. Does that sound any better? Do we have some kind of an audio problem? I hope not. I don't know. Am I on? I have got my mic on. I think we're there. I think we're there. So, yeah, I did say that if you could try to remember your dreams within the first 7 minutes, and if you can't remember your dream, at least like try to remember, write down how you felt, or you might have a color. And it was so delicious. And it's very often because I set my alarm when I go to Truth Wave. Can you hear me? When I go to Truth Wave, it's 3:45 in the morning here. So it's like today I was like, I really like felt that I was just like in this delicious honey. Okay, thanks, Henny. I'm trying to talk a little louder, and I think I'm sitting further away and I'm jiggling with things. And then I woke up this morning. It was late. I actually slept through my usual alarm, and I woke up at 7:11. And I can just say, like, I felt a little scratchy. Like, yeah, just got to just unpack some of those little things that are scratchy, on one's being or in one's heart. Yeah. But getting through, sending lots of love to PG. I wrote now, and a lot of yellow was coming through, and a lot of gold, and truth and authenticity, and waiting for universal feedback. Nothing so big. Oh, and then I did have a blister on my finger because I did burn myself really badly yesterday, but it didn't hurt. The pain went away really quickly. That was quite a miracle. Oh, Grace, then it must be on your side. Whoops. Hey, PG, is he on? No, lots of love to PG. He on your side. Because this seems fine. I'm just today I was really fine this morning. I had a beautiful morning, and then I was really fighting tiredness this afternoon. Like really like knockout tiredness. And lots of listening to the birds, talking to the birds, and just being so very aware at the moment of the birds and the bees and the flowers and the trees are just the 4 fundamental foundations or pillars of Earth. Because without each other, there won't be any. If there are no trees, there won't be any birds. And just to start observing them and digging into them and going into maybe Googling and looking up their lifestyle, no? Not just their coloring. I think that would just be like so amazing. I mean, we know that we have had so many medicines that have come from the jungle, and we don't want to do that again. We don't want to do it like it happened. I just need to clear my beautiful temples here for everybody. Oh, Karen, I'm a very soft spoken, but I can hear. Why am I so soft today? I think maybe it's this. Please do light some incense and let's awaken this beautiful temple in Tibet. So it's kind of where I'm just feeling safe at the moment. I'm really exercising my right to have imaginary friends. I was thinking about that today. I've got like this imaginary friend, and I live in an imaginary house and a bubble. Oh, lordy, lordy, lord. LOL. I used to think LOL meant Lord, oh Lord. Anyway, bless our beautiful temple in Tibet. The sacred still point and the Buddha mind. And may our path walk the way. And yeah, I've been on talking about it quite a bit, but please do try to find. Did you like some incense, Karen? Can you hear me, Grace? Am I back? Oh, Grace, yay! Oh. I will try and talk as loud as my bells. Oh, I hope so. Does the desert just pop overnight? And obviously water. Without water, nothing's going to happen. Yeah. As I said, it's like so simple. You just want a cup of tea. But when you start to break down that into its components, how much you need just to make a cup of tea. So yeah, I talk flippantly about the 4 pillars. But yeah, we need the rain, and we need the sunshine, and we need the wind. Ah, yeah. What else? We need the ether, water. We need the 5 elements. The 5 elements are the building blocks, and the 4 elements are the building. Well, it's always 5 because you have the ether. Yeah. But yeah, I'm really just tuning in, and also, well, I've just been not tuning in, tune into Mother Earth. Just tune into Mother Earth. And I was just thinking a little today of how many beautiful architects there have been that have worked with natural, looking at the animals, looking at the insects, looking how things work in nature, and have like echoed it. But sadly, most of this is what I like, don't want to happen again, is that it's been like for the rich, or that it's just like becomes idle beauty, or like luxurious beauty. But we need to have the governments. Some of them have an ear to hear what's going on, so that people can get the funding. I mean, there is just so much useless money spent in all the governments. Yeah. Witchy Trista, beautiful. Have you put anything more beautiful up to here? I haven't peeped around, but if you tell me that there is, I will go down there. Ah, and the birds. Oh, they were so excited for the rain. Get you closer to the mic, and the bell further away. Get me closer. Maybe that's what it is. Yep. My computer speakers. I have to get my beautiful sister Trista. She's a beautiful soul. I do like Trista. Yeah, just how many? So, if you just want to, I mean, Rudolf Steiner did a lot with architecture. I did want to be an architect at one stage, and I had this very special person in my life who wasn't quite an architect. He was a draftsman, but he did all the work for the architect. That really wasn't fair. But we used to just drive around, and he knew these like totally insanely wonderful houses that were created So I always do love looking at architecture. But there've been some like really sad things that have happened. Like South Africa's got such like dreadful slums. And even the people that come from further up Africa, that's why they come down to save Africa, to save South Africa, are horrified. They say they've never seen such poverty, not in their country, in the other African countries. And I mean, I unearthed a lot of stuff. I do have all the records, but there was one thing, and that was a German company that had actually, or the Austrian company, that had developed a way of making houses, like a really comfortable little house, little dwelling, out of sewage pipes, unfilled. So you have the sewage pipe, which there's like costs very little because they're just made. But that became like a whole nouveau riche thing, you know. It was like a fun little house that they made for the rich people. So this is just really where we need to like protect, but keep finding things and keep sharing them and think of different ways. I mean, these blueprints are really pouring out, and I think that we can really look hugely to how nests are made and how bees are made. And if you know anybody that's architects or engineers, and just get into their ear, yeah. And then of course there's the medicines that aspirin was the first one that GAIA synthesized from um, the willow tree. So you can chew on willow bark. I did at one stage do that. Willow is quite amazing, and also you can then use it for the best charcoal. But they actually didn't put all the ingredients in. But that was like the beginning. So they would send out teams into the jungles to find the medicinal plants and then bring them back to the pharmacy, to the laboratory, and then synthesize the chemicals out of that. So, and that I said that was so interesting was that method, that methylene blue, that was the first totally synthetic medication. KD, how are you, beautiful one? I could be better. I could also most definitely be worse. So just trying to buzz under the rainbow. Under the rainbow. There we go. Mini a slip. I was going to say radar. Under the rainbow at the moment. It's just so important if you can to obviously get out in mud. Everybody can get outside. But if you have the ability to make like a big sculpture or a big installation of a spiral in your garden, or yeah, spirals are really nice. You can do it out of stones, or you can just pick flowers and just really honor Mother Earth and just sit on her and do a lot of humming. Sorry, I'm not in my best space tonight. I've also like literally dashed in and started even more even later. Oh, okay. Thanks, Karen. What do we want to hear about today? I have a very interesting thing that came up for me, which was like everyone. Read my writing. Everyone wants the truth, okay? But nobody wants to be honest. Definitely something to think about. Yeah, my big point was architectural awareness. And we've got Josh tomorrow, so I don't think we'll start tomorrow, and then hopefully we've got PG on Wednesday. I hope he's come back into himself. Yeah, we worked so hard. I don't know why he still decided to go flying off afterwards. It was like a little, anyway, we do silly things. All of us do them. It was a lot of work that we did. I'm just losing stuff on the computer, and that's fine. And not knowing which button to push today, and that's fine. And feeling rather tired, and that's fine. And then telling Mother Earth I love her, and then going outside and talking to Ganesha, and just dwelling on Ganesha and how much Shiva must have loved Parvati, because she cried so hard when he destroyed his little Ganesha, her little Ganesha. So I was really just like taking walks with Ganesha and the energy. Ah, Grace, thank you. Yes, there's no dollars or control in truth. Mm. Yeah, yeah, the untruths. I was like hit with these huge untruths. So I hadn't been in South Africa for a few years, and the intense, crazy stories and the way that dates get mixed, and I don't want to cry. Very, very hurtful, very damaging. People concoct this whole like story. Um, and it's very interesting because it's also people don't want their untruths to be found out. So they concoct other untruths. I have this crazy, I can't lie. I'm very honest. Obviously, I've told a couple of fibs and things, but I don't lie. It was actually something very interesting because it was like, when does the shadow enter into one? I don't know. And my Russian people, she said to me, "What happened to you when you were 9?" And I thought about it. I thought about it. I thought about it. It's like nothing big and dark. Just it's like what happened, yeah, when you were 9. The really big stuff happened after I was 9. And then I thought I was smoking in my bedroom. I'd got hold of cigarettes. But now I have these crazy aunts that taught me to smoke at 5. So, it was very important to smoke in those days. And I was smoking in my bedroom. And my mother came and I obviously put it out. And she said, "Have you been smoking?" And I remember being like, this was like such a conscious lie. I looked at her and I said, "No, I haven't." And that's what came up for me and I just thought, was it like a conscious lie? Like when you really untruth that you talk, that you tell, in the shadow. It's just things to think about. I'd love to hear your feedback on that. The other thing I've had for a long time is when you lose your innocence. And that seems to be a part of you that stops growing, your emotional intelligence seems to stop growing when we lose our sexual innocence. I think for some, obviously, if it's traumatic, it's even worse. Then that you will stop your emotional. This is just observations with people over the years. And that was sad. That was long ago when I was like brought it up that I'd been like abused. And it's like you're sitting at a table with 6 women and 5 like start crying and saying, "Well, oh, that happened to stuff happened to me too." So that was like I think the beginning of talking about the abuse. And it's like it's dreadful how many people have been abused. But we're working through all of that. Yeah. In the West. Sorry, guys. I love us. That's why I'm doing this. But we have to like really wake up. We've just lost. We've just like got so far away, and it's become the money. And yeah, no more honesty, no more neighborly love. I mean, I'm sure that America used to have good neighborhoods, not as in like good neighborhoods, but good neighbors. In South Africa, we were known as like the friendly people. people would look over their the garden fence, but in a way you were reasonably safe. But you did speak to your neighbors, and then I don't know, things started happening. The other big thing was jealousy. Now, why am I talking all this negative stuff? We shouldn't really. Is like, but I just say it's like jealousy. Just really like, don't, yeah, don't take it a step further. Jealousy is a terrible thing. It's a really sad thing that's created a lot of thoughtful unkindness on the planet. No, we don't want to talk about all this stuff. Let's be much more exciting. Let's have a look what we have here. So yeah, it's really to start looking. I mean, I'm sure if you've got children, you looked at books and you went to the science expos where you had the insects and just observed. Yeah. Gardening. I miss my garden. I miss it terribly much. Let's see, what did we have today? Yeah, I think it's until the end. Venus is in Aries until the end of the month. So that's a lot of like this emotional stuff, a lot of decision making, a lot of relationship stuff, both within yourself, and also a lot of money stuff, good foundation money stuff coming in with Venus in Aries. But decisions are being made. So as I did say, the next couple of days can be a little bumpy, 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 bumpy. Just remember your meditation, whichever one it is, and just keep going there and just keep humming and just keep making those decisions to get back on the path. Get back on the path. Don't allow yourself to get down too far. Yeah, money, 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 the rich man's gold. Yeah. It's so interesting because apparently but we don't even know, because apparently the Aztecs, they actually came, they just took over those villages, the pyramids. But they didn't use that much gold. It was revered, and their main gold that they spoke about was actually maize. They did a lot to the corn goddess, the food, because they did everything golden maize food. I love these little snippets of China. I love the way that they grow things, and it's just so beautiful, and how they've been growing for like 7,000 years, and some things haven't really changed. And they developed this terrace gardening so that they could work up the mountain, and they're beautiful, beautiful pictures. And some of the farming methods haven't changed. I mean, obviously some have. Yeah, absolutely. He's got a lot to get through there. So we just send a lot of energy to him and support. So, yeah, it was a lot of work that we did the other day. And yeah, for me, I'll often like say where I got my stuff from. It's a comment I've thrown out for many things. So maybe you want to think about it for the next little while. Everybody wants the truth, but nobody wants to be honest. So this is what I didn't realize the whole planet was going to be going into it, which is why I brought in Baglamuki. And she is hugely this goddess that holds the tongue and bashes you on the head. But she is against gossiping and slander and ruining your name. And she asks you and demands honesty. So We want that into the next dispensation that we're going into. But I don't know. That's when I was in the States. It was something that I noticed so much. It was like they would be so open and honest with their contacts and their information. Maybe things have changed. Mowing anything. I said, upload a clip of Bubbles and mow a combo. Bloop, bloop. That would be cool. Katie, hey. I'm honest. People don't really like the honesty. I mean, there are ways that we can say it. But I mean, I've seen when I arrived in the States the first time, I mean, there was this German couple in front of me, and they said they wanted to stay for a year. And I just knew they were absolutely, it was like so loud, they were lying. And they went in. I said I wanted to stay for a year. And they said, no, 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 you can't, blah, blah, blah. What about your child? Blah, blah, blah. So I said, okay, well, then just give me a 3-month visa stamp. So I would just go in and out, in and out, in and out. Which is why I went up to Canada and down to Mexico so that I could get my passport stamped. Yeah, it's a conscious lie. What is that smell? What did you upload? Is it? I've got nice incense burning. You could also be smelling that. Smells like an old favorite perfume of Heelys and mine. Oh, Poison. Yeah, Poison was lovely. Oh. And I liked Opium. Oh, Opium. Oh, but Poison was Christian Dior. Was it not Dior? Or was it Yves Saint Laurent? I used to know my perfumes very well. Those were those rich smells. And then they brought in the synthetic smells and they just went. Ow. Actually, that's so interesting. Those synthetic smells would hit me literally here between the eyes with the perfumes, and that went on for a couple of years. And that was kind of, I'm so rude. But when the Nouveau Riche were making lots of money and they were buying lots of perfume, and they needed to refine their senses a little bit. Yeah. I'm curious why some are not allergic to poison. I suppose we're all allergic. I don't know. But at the same time, and that's got me into a lot of trouble at times, because my father was definitely a person of his word. Yeah, if he said something, he would do it. He never went back on his word. He was a man of really superior integrity, and I followed a lot in my parents, the good parts. There was a time I saw all my parents' bad points, and that was like, and then I started to see all the wonderful things that they were there as well. So somewhere of healthy balance. But yeah, if you promise something or you say you'll do something, you can get into a lot of trouble as well. Because some people do tune into that. I think I am, because there's a lot of we have to just be aware of what's coming up, and really just like tune into the earth. I usually share this in my feng shui course, but I've been wanting to share it for a long time. It's one of those little truth things where you might not, you might have like this kind of feeling about somebody, and you often just can't place it, and obviously you don't want to go into business with somebody like that. One of my it was a test, it became a test, because I realized, I mean, it was before this, so much of the body language stuff came out. That can also be dangerous, because we tend to judge too much, yeah? So just like doing all of these things, temper with care. Yeah, take a healthy dose of care and kindness. Yeah, yeah, of honesty. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a hard one to follow, and it's. I think it for me. I mean, I've never thought like that, but when I start to think about it, it can often put you into a lot of problems in the world because you think that everybody else is going to be honest and integrous, and the world is not like that. So I think it's also, especially as an Aries, you go out there like, oh, bugger-eyed and trusting. But yeah, you have to learn very hard lessons. We all have to learn very hard lessons, yeah. But some, some are slightly different. But it is. It's really beautiful if we have. Does Grace not like poison? Okay. Hmm. It was the synthetic dyes, hey? I think there's just synthetic aromas. I mean, they've used synthetic for a long time, but it became more and more. And it was, I don't know, there was just this whole range of perfume. As I said, it just got me, and literally here in the third eye, that I never thought of it like that then, but it was like literally here, just like, oh, it was like an instant headache. And these girls in South Africa, anyway, they would just drench themselves in this stuff. It wasn't cheap perfume. I don't know what they were, but I went off perfumes for a long time. Just stuck with one or two of the old ones. It was pretty much after Izzy Miyake and I think Poison. Those were kind of the last. Um, Angel was like a borderline of that smell. Yeah, which was pretty. Yeah, it is. We often don't like the perfumes anymore. And that, yeah, but yeah, okay, what I was going to say, it's like if you're eating a packet of chips or you've got a cake on the table, and if you just observe people, how they're going to take that last piece of cake or how they serve themselves or how they eat, or if you offer them from a bag of crisps, what do they take? Some people grab a whole handful, some take way too little. Some will grab the packet. Those are the little things that people can't hide. I hope you're starting to get my drift here. Or what do they do with like the cake on the plate? Oh, I'm taking the biggest slice for myself, or whatever, whichever way. And that will just give you it saved me a lot of problems observing those it's in the small things because people that are out there to be dishonest can cover up very often the big things. So you get like totally swayed in, mesmerized by what they're doing and saying. But it's those little things that, those subconscious things that they can't stop. On the same token, it was a terrible TV program, and I've hardly ever watched it. I watched it because my cousin was like the camera person on it. Um, I was trying to think what it was called the other day. It was like a whole mining show, and there's Sherelle. There's always like the bear. Why we can't like? It's always going to be like this horrible bitch type person, otherwise it doesn't sell. Anyway, she was this they go into her home and she has this African friend assistant who just kind of flops down on the couch and just starts eating and throwing the things. She said, what are you doing? Why are you eating like that? Why don't get a plate? She says, no, nobody can see me. And she said, never ever let your guard down. You always behave when nobody can't see you the same as you would behave, as if somebody could see you, so that if you ever you'll never ever make a mistake and let your guard down. It was like just such a sorry, I didn't come across, but I think hopefully you got it. That was really powerful for me. So it was always to maintain my personal integrity, my personal composure when I wasn't when I was alone. Yeah, not just when I had company. It takes a lot of training of all, whichever you're working with. Like to continue to walk properly. You don't slump because it just becomes more and more part of you, who you are. And it's about just changing your being. Hmm. I've never been. We don't get poison ivy here. You get that in the States. I don't think we get it in South Africa, and we don't really get singing nettle in South Africa either. Maybe in some areas, but not that I know of. How did what happen? And yeah, Chanel number 5. Yeah. And that, Grace, that's beautiful. How elegant. Yes. I could just see that's it. Nothing else. Just Chanel. Chanel is just such a classic. I love the classics. Yeah. It's an absolute classic. And a very, very beautiful one. I don't know that Hawaiian white ginger sounds absolutely gorgeous. Hmm. You know what I liked was a Terry Mugler. He brought out that perfume called cologne. But it was so weird. It was like it smelled better the next day. Mm. But yeah, number 5. China Rain. Oh, they brought out some really. We would go to this. We found this. They would have a sale twice a year, and that was like warehouse sales. And yeah, the tester bottle, no, not the tester bottle, but the stock that was moving, and they were all like top brands at very very just go. Because South Africa also has like a limited market, so they don't bring everything out. So some things just don't sell. Yeah, the truth. Yeah, so it's like that's very interesting. The truth. Well, I think that's going to be a big thing on the planet right now, but in each person's personal lives. Try not to get too. There's a lot of crazy stuff happening. Ay, 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 ay. Yeah. Chanel does a lot of Coco Chanel. Oh, it's like such a young fragrance. I don't know. That sounds gorgeous. Jungle Gardenia. Uh, Summer a rose suntan lotion in the winter. Um, yeah, we change. I used to love perfume. But I didn't know him at all. My grandmother's father was a perfumier and a milliner. a hat maker and a perfumer. I showed you the box. It was their family. They worked a lot with herbs. And they still, for some reason, they did obviously sell it. But they were apparently very, but they didn't talk to my Oma because she married I think it was a bit more, but because they were Catholic, and she married a Lutheran. So they didn't talk to her anymore. She was just, but this sex was a lot. It's like marrying Jewish out of your faith as well. So they set Shiva. But my father did remember his Oma. She was one of those who apparently used to walk around her place with the white glove to see where the dirt was. But I think that they were good people. If you look, I don't know if you can see it. I'll show you the box. Oh, pretty. And it smells so pretty. And it doesn't lose its smell. So I think L'Oreal eventually bought it out. But for some reason, I remember as a child we used to have it, and then it was still wrapped in paper inside. I can't smell this right now, but it's called Gewürzte Seife. Actually, I must put it because I don't think that you can see. Can you see? It's like, it's the big ship lollipop, and then on the one side, you buy it and you don't notice it until you look with a magnifying glass one day. So on the one side here, it's very Chinese. So they were obviously getting their stuff from China. And it says the recipe, which a recipe is the recipe. So I think they got their recipes from the Chinese as well. It's the most amazing soap. It's just full of cardamoms and spice and cinnamon and all sorts of wonderful things. And then on the other side, in true German fashion, with a ginger jar, it says the Rechnung. So I just think it's so beautiful. It's like a contract written in here. You get your recipe, your formula, and on the other side you get your, that was the receipt. On the other side you get your Rechnung, that you pay. And so, yeah, I don't know. I wish I did know more. But this was Gewürz stuff, and it's beautiful. It makes your skin so soft. Nach altes Rezepten. So, and these are those, as I always say, on my part of my family colors. With virtually no. We used to put the soap in our underwear drawer. My mother was big on that one. So she said it always kept the moths away. Yeah. I will have to put it up. I'll grow it. Yeah. And I don't think it's so good. Oils work. Oils are good for kids. They should just really, if they want to wear it, wear chamomile. But the little boys or all the children in Spain and in Portugal, they're just drenched in this like cologne, which keeps the bugs away and keeps the kids cool. So it's like a kiddie's cologne, and that's also something a lot of the Latin or the Muslims, the Turkish people also, they have this huge big bottle of like lemon cologne water. It's really wonderful and it costs like a couple of euros. And yeah, they're always splashing themselves. You know, that old lavender water was a good thing. Mm. Yeah, they keep the moths away. Yeah, absolutely. I love that smell. Yeah. And she used to put it with all her wool as well. You know, the wool that she was going to knit with. And she sort of kept the bugs away, the moths. But we must remember, all those, and we're still lucky. A lot of us, most of us, can still remember some good things. Um, so we really need to put it out there. Oh no, Yuki, you're not going to do that. Yeah. Um, there was one, but they were like, it was a private fake company in South Africa, and they did a fake of Paloma, Picasso's perfume, and it didn't smell like Paloma Picasso's perfume. I'll be back. But Yuki, here, my lovey. I don't have to be back. But it was absolutely wonderful. But they can be really horrible, and they can be a total waste of money because they don't last. And my friend bought some beautiful, what was supposed to be beautiful perfume over the internet, and she spent about 50, 60 euros on it. And it came that it was literally water with 2 drops of perfume in it. So I wouldn't. If you know what you like, you can here you can look around and you can actually get really reasonable bottles of, if you know what you're looking for. I don't know, bath oil balls, gel balls. We love perfumes and all of that, but I think that we are masking a lot of scents as well. Mm. Yeah, I think it's like, yeah, because we would, and we didn't think that we were being poisoned. I mean, 10 years ago, we didn't think we were being poisoned. I mean, I was just, and I think a lot of us were lucky if we had, that we started to use diffusers, or they didn't have them in those days. But we had, I had a ring. It's a pleasure for whatever. I had a little clay ring that went on top of my light bulb, and I would put it with like a little trough in it, and I would put like aromatherapy oils around that. That was kind of the first thing. I tried it a couple of times on the light bulb, but occasionally they would just explode and shatter. So that was really beautiful because I always loved those smells. But yeah, those other things that were like on the market or house sprays, I mean, they've really been pumping those ads for so long. Such nice people, the Joneses. Just pity about the way their house smells. Yeah. And everybody has their own house smell, hey? I think that was one of the sweetest compliments I ever kind of got. Um, she was a little younger than Melissa, and she was kind of cuddling up to Melissa, and she said, "Oh, you have such a," she must have been about 12. She said, "You have such a nice house smell." And I just thought that that was just such a beautiful compliment. Yeah, that's it, with a groove. Yeah. It's still one of the best ways to make the lights, the aromatherapy smell. Yeah. Incense can, and especially if you've got a headache, the smoke and the mist can get a little bit much. And I used to love like working with those like airwick fresheners. Yeah. 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 And I would put like aromatherapy oil inside my toilet roll. I don't do that anymore. Lemon is vanilla is beautiful. And I would do these like concoctions on the stove. I had a specific pan that I would take herbs from the garden, and yeah, you can smell people, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, the incense does, hey? Takes you way back a little bit to those days. Um, I know, I was just going to say this was the next problem is now these new light bulbs don't have any heat. So we have to come up with another thing. Yeah, because they're cool. And some are plastic. They're not even glass anymore. Yeah, smell. And they say that we've lost so much of our olfactory gland smells, but they are the ones that make us remember the most. Yeah. And your olfactory, they can just, but it's stress. Stress takes your smell away. Stresses, and then it'll often come back. But stress it's the first thing it affects. Yeah. So absolutely, and we're not knowing. And then I think when I really got scared and woke up to this stuff was um, in South Africa they have odorless doom. They have this cockroach spray, bug spray, cockroach. They like cockroaches. They cockroaches. It's called doom. And now you have this fabulous odorless doom. So like, guys, what are you doing? You can feel it in your chest, but odorless poison? How are you doing this? And we have it in our house. And we think it's great because now we don't have to smell the doom. But just stop for 5 seconds and think what's going on. Because now you're really breathing in that poison. I was also thinking today, what was I thinking? How did it go? Days, months. I was thinking about that milestone days or something, or how I remember things. Yeah, but I'll talk about that. It was like getting like prescription medication. It's tough, terrible. Smelling homes and a culture. Yeah, I can always smell like a German house. Mm, yeah. Like a German house always smells of chocolate to me. And it smells like, or if I go into a German supermarket, and I don't actually know what it is, but if I go into a German home, um, my Oma used to send us these parcels twice a year, and it's got that smell, or the German supermarket. It smells like Germany. If you know, it's like wherever. Everybody knows that smell. Where are we getting more plastic from, Karen? Who's doing more plastic for us? No, my father was in plastic. He started in the 70s before they realized the craziness of it. And it was this new thing, after Bakelite along came, it was the plastic, fantastic plastic. He was engraving first and obviously wanted to make money, and smartly, he did think about it. And he did research his market very well, whatever he wanted. I don't know if there was anything else he wanted to do, but he went into making cosmetic cream jars. And there was nobody else. He had the monopoly of the market in South Africa at the time. So he made little plastic cream jars and bigger ones. So everybody was packaging in plastic. It was changing over from glass because it was cheaper and it was safer. It didn't break. um, so, we had Revlon. He had Revlon and Yardley's and Helena Rubinstein and then a lot of the African companies, a lot of Africans came to him to use jars. But we weren't talking about that. But yeah, that was just really very. But yeah, the more that he read about it. So he started in the early 70s, and the more that he read about plastics, because we love to read this stuff, the less we had plastic in our home. We had no plastic. He wouldn't have those like boards. We wouldn't eat because he said it has emissions, and we're eating those emissions, and they're not healthy for us. Because he also, I mean, he experimented at the beginning that I don't know that he didn't buy the molds because molds were very expensive. So he did make like tumblers and little bowls with funky little animals and things, and then he went into the plastic cream jars. Yeah, because no matter how bad the economy is, women will always buy face cream, moisturizer, and a lipstick. They will go down, you know, they won't be buying the expensive stuff. No. Most of the commercial smells are toxic because they're not made with natural things. And who knows what they are and what they do to us. I went out with a guy that was, he ran the Milky Lane. His father had stepfather had the Milky Lane, which was this most amazing ice cream place in South Africa. Made a lot of money. Indian people they would come in droves on Saturday, just buy ice cream for the weekend and take it home. And he made hot chocolate. I didn't like ice cream. I didn't have a sweet tooth, so I really missed out. But he was from Spain, and his stepfather, and he had this box one day, and he said, "You got to smell this stuff." And there were all these amazing aromas. Well, there were tastes. I remember the granadilla, passion fruit, and all of them, strawberries. The smell was absolutely out of this world. And they had come from Spain, and he said, none of these are real. These are all completely fake. So that was in the 70s, yeah, mid-70s as well. So that's kind of when it became mainstream for people, and it was so exciting. Come on, it was exciting. We just didn't realize it was like so toxic. I just had a while back was like it's okay to make a mistake. Like those dreadful things that they put on the plants to kill the bugs. It's okay. This is chemistry, and there's going to be a mistake. But who the F made so much of it? That's the problem. Hmm? Hmm. The Uggs. It's just people, they just see the name. And that was still back in the day. And I would just say to the kids, why? Really, this is ridiculous. You're buying it. Can't we put the name on the outside? Your brand. Well, of course, everybody's got their brand name on the outside now. I mean, for this price, I should actually see the brand name on the outside. Staining berry spices, yes, we can do it, right. Staining berries, people make lipstick and it's really not so difficult. Just go back into the old, look at old China. Well, there's new, they still do the old stuff. I mean, don't you remember as a kid we used to work with the Slasto and put makeup on and lipstick on? I used to use paint, which was not good. Mhm. There's so many beautiful companies. It was pure. Oh, wow. Oh, it sounds amazing. The top of no. Staying with berries. I don't know. Yeah. But they use all of that. I mean, women use tampons forever. But it's just that now they have all the chemicals in them. So we get toxic shock syndrome. And we don't think about it. We just think it's such a clever idea that we don't have to wear a stinky pad. And baby powder. But we did not think that they would, consciously poison us or our children. We trusted these people. I mean, after all, the tampons were now developed by a woman doctor. And we did gullibly believe because we didn't question. We didn't do our own research. And that all over, well, not all over the world, but in the States, in South Africa as well, it was a drive, as I've said before, by Rockefeller, because he wanted the petroleum-based everything. So he did this huge, huge, huge drive to ridicule people and make them feel very insecure about using their remedies. But at the same time, thank goodness for antibiotics. But yeah, I think America's like you poor guys, the way that they advertise medication and stuff on television. I mean, you can't not help think that you must be ill. And I think it's like really easy to get it in the States. And so in Germany, it's very difficult. You can't, it's really even difficult to buy aspirin here. But they do their chemicals. They do. They love their chemicals on one level. They love their drugs. They love their chemicals. So somewhere in the middle. Yeah, we didn't even, it didn't even occur to us that they were going to poison us. Hmm? What do you mean? But pediatricians, I had that, I didn't even, my cousin, well, Alexander was like, had some issues, and I was speaking to my wonderful doctor, and she said, well, there is somebody, I'm going to write my book, and I've threatened, I did tell people that names and places will not be changed to protect innocent people. So, Brendan Belsham, such devout, fucking judgmental Christians. I mean, he told me, because I said, well, his father, Uncle Clive, I said, I really, I don't do dogs. Not because I don't do dogs, I just I don't have good luck with dogs. I wasn't really brought up with dogs. I did cats. And it's like, dogs are a very big commitment. Yeah, I do a dog now. Well, I was judged because I said that comment. I said, I don't do dogs. I don't really do dogs. And if they licked me, I would get like serious, all those bumps and allergies and cobweb. So, and I have like a lot of pain involved with my parents taking my dog away from me. So I don't do dogs. So I was like judged like, how can I not love God's creature? Blah, 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 blah. So a few years later, we all loved Brendan. Brendan was, I mean, he was a bit younger than me, but we all thought, well, no, he was older than me. He was absolutely gorgeous. Anyway, so Alex has got like a couple of, like most children can have a couple of issues. And she said, well, you can go and see a psychologist, a psychiatrist. And she said, but there's Dr. Belsham. She said, but he really over-medicates quite a lot. And I thought, oh, this nice Christian boy is over-medicating. So, when you start thinking and then all the information starts to come to you. So he was getting holidays by the big drug companies. He had all the umbrellas in his home. My aunt told me, because I didn't keep contact with that side of the family. My other aunt said, and she said, but like he's got all the umbrellas and the gift bags from the company, and he keeps going over on holidays because he is drugging the children with huge amounts of bloody drugs. So much for being a good Christian. Oh, yummy. You see, and how simple was that, Grace? And if it comes up for summertime, it was one of my yummiest, is if you just take it, and it also makes your house smell so beautiful. If you just take a jug of water and you slice a few slices of cucumber in it, that can be all. You put some ice in it, and it is absolutely delicious. And cucumber is like such an interesting thing that smells so different, but it just smells so beautiful. But you can add mint to it, or lemongrass, or whatever. Parsley is also a nice one, but just that's a very nice one when it gets really hot and very, very refreshing. That was also thinking about cinnamon sticks today when I took my walk. I was thinking about the bark of trees and how the cinnamon is literally comes off the whole bark of a tree. Yeah. Oh, I'm so glad. And it's so easy to make your own stuff. They smell beautiful, hey? They've got like such a different smell to how they taste. And cinnamon, of course, is just Angela. Hello, beautiful. Angela, do you know who you look like? Because you were saying that for me, um, that you were told that you felt that you had to put your face on the thing. You actually look like a very young Nina Hagen. She was such a sweet, innocent girl that went off to England. I don't know if you know who Nina Hagen is. So she went off to England, and you look so much like that Nina Hagen. And she was very intrigued by David Bowie, and she was then the queen of punk, but she is totally unique. You know, the energy and personality again is funny. But they've changed over the years. Well, I think it's also our perception as well. I mean, like 100 years ago or 50 years ago, your dogs would have been outside and not living in comfort on the couch, and you sitting on the floor in the bed. Yeah. Oh. The Hawaiian people have a specific name for a dog, and it's more than a companion. I can't. It's got so many preservatives in it, and the taste. I can't do hardly anything with preservatives. It's like when you cut all that stuff out. Um, it's really not difficult. It's just cook, guys. Give your family love, and you stay. The problem is that you stay out of the shit that's going on in the world, and you don't know what's going on because you're no longer under their program. So I was totally unaware of what was going on for so long. My son in South Africa, he was almost hysterical because they were playing this game with food, on a spiritual level in the name of food. So, oh God, the games people come up with. And he said, please, you've got to do what don't you make? I said, I just don't do everything. I don't buy anything in the supermarket. Hardly anything. No biscuits. Because my beautiful doctor at the time told me, because they were starting to bring out all these yummy crackers, and they were so nice, and I like salty crackers, and that it was give you a free taste, like those rosemary and salt ones. And she said to me, "Do you think that they care about your health?" They were also like this, like full of vital things. She said, "Do you really think they care about your health?" She said, "No, they don't. They just care about the money." So it was also, that's just like I shopped on the outside aisles. I bought my fresh fruit, the meat, butter, cheese, and off to the other aisle where I bought candles and washing liquid, and that was my my shopping. I skipped out all those middle aisles, which were full of like the tin foods. Never bought them. The only thing I ever bought was tuna, tin tuna, and very, very occasionally asparagus because I make a beautiful tinned asparagus salad with avocado and egg and mayonnaise. It's just divine. I love dogs. Oh, why can't you own a dog? Oh, yeah. Hmm. Was good and platter, no good and plenty. Oh, those candy coated. Ah. I used to love licorice, like string licorice, but I didn't like licorice sweets or salted things. I can eat them now, but no. But that was also, I mean, how much sugar were we eating? My mother also, she had this big, like, American cookbook. My father had his German one, my mother had the American one. And it was kind of falling apart. And I got that when I got married. And I started making these wonderful fudge, and it had everything. You could make sweets and spun sugar and the complete American housewife book. But it was just like cups and cups and cups of pure sugar, and I thought, this can't be good. So then I stopped because I was scared of all the sugar. That's so funny that all men get turned on by everything. Homemade, yummy, yes. Oh, and please try to cut out on the wheat a little bit, but if you can move into sourdough and make your own bread. If you can, it's like the energy that you put into your food that you're cooking. Cook with a wooden spoon. I work with this in my feng shui course, but it's like the energies you're working with metals, not so good, and plastic is definitely plastic has no inner conductive energy. But you're working with these beautiful wooden spoons and try to find ones that are sold by Aboriginal people, the ethnic people that are handmade. They're usually like strange shapes and they really work well. Mhm. I had one, but she could sell them for a fortune. But they were made by African people and they were wooden spoons and they had a little bunny at the top. And it was my best spoon. It was a wooden spoon, but like shaped in a bunny. And it was like I'm cooking with bunny. That was my best spoon. Hmm. Cats are amazing. I do miss a cat. I try not to let my heart break because I don't have a cat. Don't we all wish we lived next door to Grace? Hmm. Aw. I know you guys, I sometimes I feel so far away. What do you have? A spoon and a fork with, yeah. I know, they're cool. So you use them. It makes so much fun. I remember long ago I bought, like, for me, that was also when I bought a kettle because I drink so much and I worked from home. So I would drink about 30 cups of tea a day. Not exaggerating. Okay, maybe 20, but I drink a lot of tea. And I bought the kettle that I wanted to look at, that was beautiful and it was expensive. It didn't matter because I said, I'm using this kettle so many times every day and it makes the energy of my tea taste better. I'm not going to have angry. I don't like this ugly old cheap kettle. So I had this beautiful, my kettle was always a really special kettle. And then it was the same with my sugar spoon. I had the sugar spoon with like a dancer ballerina on the end, but it was like very like, and it was like my sugar. But it's and these things are not always expensive. Hey, it's just about choices. It's about stopping for that brief second, making it, and it's obviously feng shui can help you quite a bit, but these are just the choices that we make. Um, it's about beauty. It's oh, it's about bringing in a theme, bringing in a brand, bringing in what you like. Um, you can very often just take 2 or 3 things that you really like in your home, and you can build a whole theme around that. And even if you're on a budget and you're shopping from like secondhand stores, you can still make nice choices. Yeah? Mm. Oh. Well, and then people that work, the good china, use it. Yeah, not just camping, not plastic. Then you can use the metal. Okay, when sit around the pool, you plastic. Plastic has its uses. I don't know now that I know because it would get hot and I would like think about what else. But metal's even worse. And glass definitely not around the pool for just safety reasons. No. If you get glass in the swimming pool, you'll have glass in the swimming pool for a long time. 6 months later, somebody will still cut their foot. No. Yeah. Ah, Angela, that's okay. Just, so know that it goes. People obviously like your wooden spoon. Come here, Yuki. Just be very careful what you're doing with secondhand clothes, hey? You really do need to detox them. Um, you need to wash them with a good dash of vodka and pray on them that you remove the energies of the previous owner, because secondhand things carry the energy of people. I mean, there's 2 ways of looking at it, but you don't want. Um, it was wild when things were starting to talk in South Africa because people were throwing out such beautiful things, and I had this weird thing that I would once a week I would go to the Oxfam shop. Because I didn't have anybody to help me in my house. So that was my salary. I paid myself to do my own housework. And I would go and I would buy something. So, like, whatever, some beautiful outfit or a nice bowl. Yeah, whatever. But so those things started talking in South Africa. So I didn't clean them this last time round. Everything started talking. Everything's alive. Yeah, just a heads up, guys. It's really going. Sorry, I will be back. I was just give my boy some water here, and then we're going to say goodbye. I'm getting hungry. Come on, baby. Come on. There we go. Has anybody else been crazy hungry? Oh, I'm so hungry. And then it will stop and it's just like sort of like eat. Clay mugs, yeah, just like choose the things that you have with care. They don't have to be luxury items. Yeah. It's about saying those are just and to share the idea of choosing. There's a saying that with bread that it's like baking bitter bread. So, and you can taste it. Yeah, if you're not in a good mood or you're sad, then please don't cook too much. Then, getting takeouts might just be a better idea for that day. But yeah, most of the time, cook with a song in your heart. Cook with love. That's what really feeds your family. It's not the food. Well, obviously it is the food, but it's the love. And you can eat like really simple stuff, but if it's got love in it, it's absolutely delicious. Love is this. There's just so much huge, crazy emphasis on food today. It's like insane. And the prices that people are paying. It's like very strange for me. And I just always said my mother always wanted to take me for dinner on my birthday. And I have to say, no, I really don't. I really don't. Because it's going to last for like the time of the dinner. I'll think of it for a couple of hours afterwards. And by tomorrow morning, it's completely gone and down the toilet. So please buy me a book. Or 2 books if you want. Because then I will remember that birthday and it's special. But the meal is, you forget. Karen, you must be very careful. And in fact, it depends on the person. When I sold some of my Oracle cards, people, I know that the energy was amazing. People were going crazy to buy them. They wanted them when I was moving. I want your cards. Don't you care? Yeah, I want your cards. They got such good energy in them. And it was very interesting because my first pack of cards, that was like proper cards, the red or white deck. I bought some, and not those, but I was given them in America. This guy gave me his original pack because I was reading cards on the beach, and they had writing all over them. So I was really like privileged. He taught me to read cards. So I read cards on Venice Beach, and then I did sell them, but they had their own like beautiful silk, old ancient scarf on them. It was mine, and then I put it with a book. Yeah, I didn't get a book with mine. I had to just go learn them. That sounds like a good. He's also very hungry, but the past week I've been intense. It is intense, Angela. We're all like doing a little crispy, fragile stuff. The very, very best of those out there. And it's just so nice when people are honest about it. So it's just like focus. We've got each other. We're here. Yes, you can do it. You can. I've been fighting tiredness today, like an absolute monster. And I keep lying down on the bed and thinking, oh, I'm just going to do something. It's like, no, get up now. You've got this. Okay. I don't think I've really done as much anything, but it's at least I keep kind of getting up and pretending I'm doing something. It's okay. I've like maybe I should just go cook, but I don't want to cocoon. But yeah, just be yeah. Very hungry. I feel like the hungry caterpillar. And anger coming up. Yeah. What did you do with it? Yeah, it's okay. So it's just letting, that's just said what's coming up right now, because it's like it's quite a conflict. Hey? Venus and Aries. Venus is going into Aries for a month. So it's working on a lot of decisive decisions. So before that, you had like flop about the little fish there, the Pisces fish. So it's like, should I do this or should I not do this? Whereas now Aries is saying, and it's very much committed with relationships and personal relationships, and this is happening now. Yeah? We're getting married now. We're getting divorced now. You're going to be angry now. You're going to be cross with yourself now. So a lot of stuff is, sorry, I've just dropped my pretty ring. A lot of old stuff is coming up again. Do we ever get rid of this stuff? But it's just let it go, because there's just so much compassion on the universe. Don't hold into it. That's why I say I'm not particularly mad about Freud, because he makes you rehash the stuff over and over and over again. Many years ago, Shane, my oldest son, he had so much death in his life. So many of his friends died. Harsh. And I took him to, I like those really old Mrs. Moppet type people that were psychics that you heard about. They were really good psychics. And I didn't want him to go into therapy, because I know that often therapy, it just like makes it worse. So I took him to Afrikaans, Tannie, somewhere out, far away. She was beyond excellent. She was a channel, or whatever you call it. And I said to him, I said, take a book, take it very seriously, write the notes down, and come up with questions that you want to ask before you go. Yeah, shame. That's the Hindu boy. And that, I believe that like session with a really good channeling psychic person that could answer questions for him, and also the thing that moved him into his career. So because he had his thoughts, and she just confirmed. And I think that did like a good 5 to 7 years of work in one afternoon. You know, he got over it in like a week. Yeah. So I don't do conventional therapy at all. Rehashing the shit over and over and over again. Oh, Grace. Oh, how lovely. She used to cook for me. I love it. What a treat. What an absolute treat. That's an absolute labor of love. Grace's mom cooking for her. There was that thing that used to say, what's the last meal? If you had the last meal on earth, what would it be? And mine was my mother's toasted cheese. I did think about it. And said my mother's toasted grilled cheese, whatever you boiled cheese, what you call it there. Because it's so good. And because it's made with love. There's nothing fancy about it. You put way too much cheese on, sometimes cucumber inside or tomato, and grilled with a little bit of yummy salt. And then always the parsley and some little veggies around the side, some salady things on the side. She never just like, but it was always this TLC attached to everything. And it just always just tasted so good. Yeah. Hey, it's very nice to eat at a high-end restaurant, but I actually can't. I can't do those high. I can't eat those high prices. I just can't. And I used to go to France to their family, and they do high-end stuff, and I really drank way too much. Tony wasn't there. And Glenn and I had got into his private collection of red wine, French red wine. And then they have this, it's quite expensive. It's a liqueur, which is made from the grape skins that are left over. It's very nice. It's almost like a brandy, but it's not a brandy. So we got into that as well. And then I just puked in the middle of the night. And I thought afterwards, oh my God, You know, I must have puked about 10,000 rands worth of alcohol of stuff. So about 1,000 to 1,500 euros or dollars worth of alcohol. It was quite debauched. It was fun. She'd keep telling me, "You're letting the side down if you're not drinking." I'm not a good drinker. Ah, not even now, no. 2 waves in a non-usual manner. Free book box. What? I don't understand. Mum's cooking is definitely the best, though. Yeah. Shame. My boy was just saying that his house is it's missing something. It's just not there. I said, yeah, it's missing the love and the touch and the sparkle. He said, yeah. I said, well, you must come and have a look. I've got lots of pictures here that you must take that I don't want. Some fun stuff. Hmm. Hmm. Wow. Yeah. Karen Suki, my lovely. Yeah, I'm going to go now as well, ladies. Thank you so much, our girl chat. Aww, thank you. And thanks for being here. I really so appreciate it. Bye, bye, bye. And we will see. I hope that Angela, happy Aries, mummy. Oh, she's also Aries. Oh, so yeah, they're going to be doing interesting stuff, hey? I really think so. They're going to be marching up, big, strong girls. Hmm. Oh, yeah. But it's yeah, very fun. Yeah. Hmm. Katie, I hope that we're going to get the feng shui off the ground next week. One way or another, we must do it. Even if I have to do a late night session for you guys, like for me. But we really need to. I think it's like definitely time to do it, just for the fun facts in between it, and you will definitely use it. I'm going to. Oh, thank you, Grace. I really am. Thank you, my love. I am. I'm going to rest because sitting and like getting things half done don't work. Yeah. And there's a lot of energy out there, and I just somebody's got to be stronger. So I'll just I'll talk to myself. But Grace, and I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you so much. Grace, you have no idea how you have kept me together. In a way. Yeah, for a while. Just you're very special. And a lot of you other ladies, thank you very much for being here, and I really appreciate it. And I know that what we say here and what we feel here goes out into the world and gets picked up by a lot of other strong, beautiful women. And the world is changing. And just keep looking to nature and just ask yourself, yeah, hmm, it's a nice, cozy, learning, fun, cozy. Hmm, yeah. Things are always needed, a little bit of TLC and good a coffee clutch. That's what we said before, our kids didn't have problems, it was like, please dump the kids at you and Saturday morning, pasta, take Gemma. Cool. Then she was brought up by her granny and I had Alex. I was like a lot older as well. So she just needed space. And it's fine, just go and have coffee, go and smoke with your friends, go and do what you like for a good couple of hours. I'm here. It's fine. I'll feed her lunch, no problem. Be back when you're back. Anyway. Bless our nest film. Oh, thank you. With areas of the rest in other areas. Maybe it's like a little nest. Thank you. So go and look at your nests, and we will definitely make little nests next week. Cozy nests. I always tell my son to listen to my feng shui workshop. He can just lurk in the background. I won't. That's a good idea. I've been trying to feed him nice things. Anyway, love you guys, love you ladies, and this was very mellow and ever so chill. But let's just wake up. Boing, boing, boing. Don't forget to breathe up and down your spine. Please do your other meditations, but just remember that clear channel. Into the head, down the spine. You can come up the spine, into your arms, into your legs. Just move that energy and that blood. You are your own healer, and this is how we're healing. So, and hum. Don't forget to be humming as much as you can be humming. And you can whistle while you work. So love you ladies, and we'll see you tomorrow. And it's Joshua's happy day tomorrow, so let's not forget that. Many blessings, and have the most spectacular, beautiful day. And don't forget to kiss the earth, kiss a tree. Take time. Take time to have a look, and let her speak to you. Bye.